The night was thick with fog, concealing a meticulously planned plot. August 8, 1963, marked the Great Train Robbery. Near Cheddington, Buckinghamshire, a daring heist captured the nation's imagination. A tampered signal glowed red, whispering rebellion. 15 men, faces obscured by balaclavas, moved with precision. Their target, a Royal Mail train, laden with a king's ransom. The train halted, steam hissing as brakes groaned. The robbers wasted no time. They overpowered the crew, moving with practiced efficiency. Bags of money, £2.6 million, were hauled from the train. Behind the audacious robbery were two figures, Bruce Reynolds and Ronnie Biggs. Reynolds, the mastermind, was a charming and enigmatic figure, a former wartime soldier turned peacetime criminal. He was the architect of the robbery, his mind a labyrinth of intricate plans. His charisma drew a motley crew of hardened criminals and opportunistic amateurs. Biggs, a small-time crook, was the wild card, the unpredictable element. His minor role in the robbery was overshadowed by his escape and flamboyant lifestyle. Safe houses were rented, disguises procured, and the mail train tracked. The success also hinged on a network of informants and corrupt officials. The immediate aftermath of the robbery was a scene of controlled chaos. The robbers vanished into the night, their pockets stuffed with cash, leaving behind a scene of confusion and disbelief. The sheer audacity of the crime sent shockwaves through British society. This was not a smash and grab, not a petty theft. It was a meticulously planned and flawlessly executed heist that had netted the robbers a king's ransom. The nation awoke to the news, the headlines screaming of the audacious heist. The police, their pride stung by the ease with which they had been outwitted, launched a massive manhunt, their every resource dedicated to bringing the perpetrators to justice. The pressure was immense, the public clamoring for arrests, for justice to be served. As the investigation gained momentum, a hideout was discovered, Leatherslade Farm. The discovery of the hideout provided the police with a treasure trove of evidence, fingerprints, monopoly money used to track expenses, and even remnants of the food and drink the robbers had enjoyed while celebrating their success. One by one, they were apprehended, their dreams of a life of luxury, funded by stolen money, crumbling around them. The trials were swift, the sentences harsh. The Great Train Robbery was more than just a crime. It was a cultural earthquake that shook the very foundations of British society. The scale of the robbery, the audacity of the perpetrators, and the ease with which they had outsmarted the authorities sent shockwaves through the nation. This wasn't just a crime against a trainload of money, it was a crime against the established order, a brazen challenge to the very notion of law and order. The robbery became a national obsession, the subject of countless newspaper articles, books, and documentaries. The robbers, particularly Reynolds and Biggs, were elevated to the status of folk heroes by some, their daring exploit capturing the imagination of a public weary of post-war austerity. The impact on crime enforcement was immediate and far-reaching. The robbery exposed glaring weaknesses in the security of the Royal Mail and the methods used by the police. The Great Train Robbery marked a turning point in the relationship between the police and the public. The manhunt for the Great Train Robbers was a sprawling, complex affair, spanning multiple continents and involving law enforcement agencies from around the world. The pressure on the police was immense, the public demanding swift justice for such an audacious crime. The investigation, led by the determined Detective Chief Superintendent Jack Slipper, was a race against time, a battle of wits against a group of cunning and resourceful criminals. Slowly but surely, the police began to close the net. Leads were followed, informants interrogated, and a picture of the robbery and its aftermath began to emerge. The robbers, despite their meticulous planning, had made mistakes, left behind clues that would prove to be their undoing. The first domino to fall was Roger Corddry, apprehended just 4 months after the robbery. His capture provided a crucial breakthrough, leading the police to a series of safe houses and ultimately to the gang's hideout at Leatherslade Farm. One by one, the robbers were apprehended, their dreams of a life of luxury funded by stolen money crumbling around them. The long arm of the law had caught up with most of the Great Train Robbers, but for Ronnie Biggs, prison was just another obstacle to overcome. Sentenced to 30 years for his role in the robbery, Biggs spent just 15 months behind bars, before escaping from London's Wandsworth prison in spectacular fashion. Biggs' escape, aided by a waiting furniture van and a rope ladder, was a testament to his audacity and his unwavering belief in his ability to outwit the authorities. His escape made him a folk hero to some, a symbol of rebellion against the establishment. For the police, it was a humiliating blow, a public reminder that even the most secure prisons were not impervious to a cunning and determined escapee. Biggs' escape marked the beginning of a life on the run, a journey that would take him across continents, always one step ahead of the law. He surfaced in Australia, underwent plastic surgery to alter his appearance, and eventually settled in Brazil, a country that had no extradition treaty with the United Kingdom. Biggs' time in Brazil was a bizarre mix of fugitive and celebrity. While Ronnie Biggs was busy crafting his image as a lovable rogue, Bruce Reynolds, the mastermind behind the Great Train Robbery, was leading a more subdued life on the run. After 5 years evading capture, moving between safe houses and relying on a network of loyal associates, Reynolds was eventually apprehended in the seaside town of Torquay. Unlike Biggs, Reynolds never sought to glorify his criminal past. He accepted his punishment, serving 10 years in prison before emerging a changed man. He expressed remorse for his actions, acknowledging the impact the robbery had on the victims and on society as a whole. In a strange twist of fate, Reynolds found himself drawn back into the world he had left behind. But this time, it was on the other side of the camera. He worked as a consultant on the 1988 film Buster, a comedic retelling of the Great Train Robbery starring Phil Collins as Buster Edwards, one of the robbers. Reynolds' involvement in Buster was more than just a way to make amends for his past. Ronnie Biggs' life on the run finally came to an end in 2001, when he voluntarily returned to the United Kingdom, his health failing and his options dwindling. He was immediately arrested and returned to prison to serve out the remainder of his sentence. The once sprightly rogue, the master of self-promotion, was now a frail old man, his body ravaged by a series of strokes. Despite his declining health, Biggs remained unrepentant, his spirit unbroken. He continued to court the media, his story a salacious mix of crime, escape, and exotic locales. In 2009, after serving 8 years of his remaining sentence, Biggs was released from prison on compassionate grounds. He was a shadow of his former self, confined to a wheelchair and unable to speak. Ronnie Biggs died in 2013 at the age of 84, his life a testament to the enduring power of notoriety. The Great Train Robbery, despite being one of the most investigated crimes in British history, remains shrouded in mystery. The full story of that fateful night and the events that followed may never be fully known, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and tantalizing possibilities. One of the most enduring mysteries is the whereabouts of the missing millions. While most of the robbers were apprehended and a significant portion of the loot recovered, a substantial sum remains unaccounted for. Rumors abound of hidden stashes, secret investments, and clandestine deals, fueling speculation and keeping the legend of the Great Train Robbery alive. Another mystery is the identity of the Ulsterman, a shadowy figure rumored to have played a key role in planning the robbery, but who was never identified or apprehended. Some believe he was a figment of the robbers' imaginations, a convenient scapegoat to deflect attention from themselves. The Great Train Robbery continues to fascinate and intrigue, its legacy a tangled web of fact, fiction, and speculation. The Great Train Robbery, though a product of a bygone era, continues to resonate in the 21st century. Its influence can be seen in countless films, books, and television shows, its themes of daring, betrayal, and the allure of easy money as relevant today as they were in 1963. The robbery also had a lasting impact on the security industry. The audacious nature of the crime and the ease with which the robbers were able to overcome existing security measures led to a significant overhaul of security protocols in the United Kingdom and beyond. The robbery served as a wake-up call, highlighting the need for more robust security systems and a more proactive approach to crime prevention. The Great Train Robbery also left an indelible mark on the British psyche. It challenged the nation's sense of order and security, exposing the vulnerability of even the most established institutions. It was a story that captured the imagination of a generation, and its legacy continues to fascinate and intrigue to this day.